We've got some customers who are rude for no reason. If you have worked a day in your life at any kind of customer service job, you have dealt with a customer that was just for no reason. I was working at McDonald's. A customer complained that there was not a tomato on her Big Mac. I explained to her that Big Macs do not come with tomatoes unless specially ordered. She then proceeded to sing the Big Mac song to me in front of a lobby full of customers, adding the word tomato into the song lyrics in an attempt to prove her. I would have loved to see this. This little karaoke moment. Oh my God. I wish I was there. I was working at a coffee and wine bar when I had a man scream at me because he ordered the regular and I didn't know what he wanted. It was my first time meeting him, which catastrophically aligned with the first time I was left to take care of the register alone. Oof. Bad luck. I couldn't get away from his yelling in order to ask the people in the back what he wanted because he refused to outright tell me. He just kept screaming, "Don't you know who I am?" over and over. He made such a big scene that his regular order was written out, laminated, and pinned to the cash register after that. Oh, you guys shouldn't have even done that. You're just like letting him be entitled at that point. You know what I mean? Oh, you're so special. You're such a regular. My ego would never let him win. Every time I saw him, I'd personally be like, "Oh, sorry, who are you?" That's probably why I got written up before. I don't handle the whole customer's always right thing very well. I'm sure you guys aren't shocked by that. I worked as a CS representative for a redistributor, and I once had an older gentleman call to order a food scale that was like a 10-pound capacity. The platform was only a few inches wide. When he received it, he called me yelling, "How the hell am I supposed to stand on this thing?" Come on, you ordered a food scale and thought that it was like a scale, like for your weight as a human? Yeah, no. Like surely you had to have read the description of this thing. I worked at a coffee shop, and one time after I handed a customer his coffee, I told him to have a nice day. He sent an angry email to corporate and my manager telling them I was rude to him because I didn't follow a company standard by saying, "Have a nice day," instead of "thank you." Like you're supposed to thank him? You're supposed to thank the customer? Doesn't the customer thank the person for making their order? Why even bother trying to be nice? My first job was in the produce department of a local grocery store. One morning, a middle-aged woman came in and asked me if we had organic pears in the back room because the ones up front didn't look great. I explained to her we would be getting a shipment in the following morning and she could come back then, or we have regular pears available in the next row. Aside from getting yelled at, she requested to speak with my manager. What killed me though was as she's about to walk away, she turned and said, "I'll be back tomorrow to get my pears, but I don't know what my bird is going to eat today. He only eats organic." Well, your bird is eating better than I do. I used to work in the deli section of a grocery store in Vermont. I was once slicing cheese for a woman who got really angry that I hadn't stacked her cheese perfectly straight. Anyway, the story has a happy ending. Her exact words were, "Where I'm from in New York, they stack the cheese perfectly straight." The guy behind her, a regular the local employees greeted by name, piped up and said, "Well, then maybe you should go the F back to New York." Best moment I've ever had at work. See, there are some good regular customers out there. I remember at Tim Hortons, we had a lot of good regular customers all the time. And if someone was like being a little in line and stuff or mouthing off, they would. There are some that would totally come to your defense. So not all regular customers are bad or entitled. A customer came in to buy hand sanitizer. She walked down the aisles, found it, brought the bottle to the register to purchase it, saw there was some at the register, then proceeded to share her vast knowledge of swear words, swearing she would never shop with us again. What? I don't know how I would handle something like that. I really don't. Yeah. I feel like in those situations, you just let them have their moment of swearing and then they leave and you're like, okay. A lady walked into my office asking for one of my colleagues. I explained to her that he works out at a different office. She was upset and she had documents to drop off to him. I explained to her that his office is only 3 minutes down the street, or I could scan her documents and email them to him. She refused. I told her she could leave them with me and I can ask my colleague to pick them up tomorrow. She refused again because she didn't trust me. You're offering her so many things. I explained that I am the director of operations for the company and thus the person she was looking for's boss. She then yelled it was extremely sensitive information and stormed out. Not even a full minute later, she came back, asked for my business card to prove I am who I say I am. I give her one and she left her stuff with me. Yeah. She didn't even need to ask for the manager because you are the manager. I was once yelled at for saying no problem instead of you're welcome. It's almost like the whole Merry Christmas thing, Happy Holidays. I got in so much trouble for saying Merry Christmas because we had to say Happy Holidays. I worked at a Borders bookstore and had a customer that wanted a Bible that was in English, but somehow not a translation. He kept saying he wanted the original Bible, but he didn't want the New Testament Greek one we had. He wanted the original, but in English. I ended up leaving him in the King James Version section and said, let me know if there's anything else I can do, while walking away quickly. Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure you're not the only one who wants the original. Wouldn't that solve a lot of things with religion? You know, you like people doubting certain religions or certain aspects. The original. I once had a customer who noticed I had an accent. I am from Southern Virginia. Say that I was Russian. I don't know how they possibly thought my accent was Russian, so I corrected them, but they got angry because I was condescending them. Narcissist behavior, just turning it around on you completely. Being like, no, you just said that I was Russian and I'm just letting you know that I'm not. It's a fact. A woman I had never met or seen in my life asked me during my shift where her kids were. I was confused and said, I'm sorry, I don't know. She yelled at me and repeatedly asked where they put them. Wait, what? Her kids? Oh my God, I cannot fathom what's happening. Excuse me. She yelled at me and repeatedly asked where they put them. She then angrily stormed off, and to this day, I have no clue why she was asking that. Okay, I'm glad you are just as confused as I am because I am just I would be so alarmed if someone just came up to me and was like, yo, where are my kids? Where did they put them? I'd be like, is this a true crime documentary? I don't know. That's sketchy. I was a teller for almost 4 years when I was in college, and I remember getting yelled at repeatedly by customers who would get mad at me because they were low on money and or had checks bounced due to them lacking funds. How is that my fault? Oh, it's not. It's not. They're just angry with themselves and their life position financially, and they're taking it out on somebody because they don't want to admit that it's their fault. I've probably been there. Not that I yelled at tellers, but I definitely was like, damn it, I want money. I was screamed at one time because I didn't open up shop about an hour before opening time because he was here now, so open the store. He kept banging on the door until we finally opened, then threw a metal bucket at my head. Good times. Oh, good. Imagine that's how life worked. I want to go to the store at 8 a.m. Their store hours aren't at 9 a.m., but that's okay. I'm here now, so open the door. Why would you need store hours? They wouldn't even exist. It'd be a come as you are. A customer ordered a dish that always comes with fries. He got mad when he got his dish because he wanted bread. No problem. I apologized, although I did nothing wrong, and brought him some bread. He then yelled at me because the restaurant always serves this dish with bread. I told him I had worked there for 5 years and I advised him to tell the staff that he wanted bread when ordering next time. At this point, he got red in the face and screamed at me. Long story short, the owner came over to his table. She supported me. The guy ate his food, which must have been cold by then, and he never came back. Probably for the best. That's probably the best solution, is that you never have to deal with him again. Don't we love apologizing for things when we did absolutely nothing wrong? Just, oh, you want to work here? Great. Be prepared to apologize when you've done nothing wrong. I didn't do very well with that. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Let me know if you've ever dealt with a rude customer. You know I want to hear the story, so write it down below. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, and be kind to people.